Good morning, MacLaren. Today is Thursday, December 10th, 2020. The weather today, partly cloudy skies in the morning will give way to cloudy skies in the afternoon. The high is 46 degrees. The winds will be north 10 to 15 miles per hour with a 16% chance of precipitation. The sun rose at 7:07 a.m. and it will set at 4:37 p.m. Have you ever lost something and it was just driving you crazy trying to find it? Well, Mr. Beethoven must have felt the same thing and had the same experience. The piece I will play for you today is called Rage Over a Lost Penny. I love this piece because it so aptly expresses the frustration of trying to find something that you lost. And now back to Beethoven Lives Upstairs. April 21st, 1823. Dear Uncle, do you remember me telling you that Mr. Beethoven leaves each afternoon for a walk? Did you wonder where he goes? Well, now I know, and I will tell you the story. Mother sometimes says that instead of just staying on the front steps, it would be nice if I'd spend some time inside. I used to believe she meant it until this morning. I thought of something to play with the twins. I rolled up a bit of cardboard like an ear trumpet and put one end in little Teresa's ear. I said, "Good morning, baby," very loudly, and she started to scream. Mother said it hurt her. So I went outside again and sat in my usual place on the step. Then Mr. Schindler came downstairs. He said to me, "The master needs new pencils," and off I went to the shop. Then I came back. When I came back, Mr. Schindler was gone. No one was upstairs but Mr. Beethoven, and he was writing at his desk. I stamped my feet on the floor to get his attention, and when he didn't notice, I stamped harder until at last I was stamping as hard as I could. Then suddenly he turned around and saw me. When he laughs, he sounds like a lion. So today I went along with him on his walk. At times, Mr. Beethoven forgot that I was with him. He would hum and sometimes wave his arms. He took out his papers and made some little notes. We walked outside Vienna in the tall woods, and then past the woods and into the fields. Uncle, if you were to come to visit me, I would show you where we walked today. Christoph. In July of 1823, the following note arrived, unfinished and unsigned. Christoph was preoccupied, I suspect, by the pleasures of summertime and was too busy for letter writing. The note was sent to me by his mother, included in a letter of her own. June 30th, 1823. Dear Uncle, spring has come and gone, and now it is summer. The The house is quiet because tonight Mr. Beethoven has gone to Baden, where he will spend the hottest months. He will finish his symphony and then he will come back. Tonight, as I write you, it is evening, but I cannot sleep with the sun still shining through the shutters. From my room, I can hear Mother playing piano as she used to when I was small. I have been sitting here thinking about something Mr. Schindler said. He said, Mr. Beethoven works so hard because he believes that music can change the world. In the autumn of 1823, Mr. Beethoven returned to Vienna from his summer lodgings. October 29, 1823. Dear Uncle, Mr. Beethoven has come home, and so our house is in an uproar again. Someone has given him another piano, and there was a lot of trouble getting it upstairs. And then last night, he had a party. A lot of people went in and out very late, and the more cheerful they became upstairs, the noisier it was for us. Finally, it was impossible to sleep. I could hear two ladies singing. I had seen them earlier, laughing on the stairs. They are called sopranos because they are singers who can sing very high. Mr. Beethoven has a housekeeper. She says that when the sopranos come up the stairs, Mr. Beethoven rushes like a schoolboy to change his coat, and he won't let her make the coffee for them. It must be perfect, with exactly 60 beans for every cup. He counts them himself. Uncle, I have asked Mother if you can come to visit. She said she would be delighted if you would. She thinks you would enjoy the goings-on. Christoph. January 4th, 1824. Dear Christoph, how glad I was to receive your letter. I hope you will forgive my very late reply. Did you know that your mother has written to me as well? She tells me there is a steady stream of great musicians up and down your stairs. Since Mr. Beethoven is writing his Ninth Symphony in your very house, perhaps you will be interested in the things I have heard. According to the stories, Mr. Beethoven has felt that he is not appreciated in Vienna. He almost agreed to perform his new symphony in Berlin. I'm happy to say that, though so many people begged Mr. Beethoven to change his mind, that luckily he did. And there's other news. They say the orchestra members are complaining about their parts. The bass player says their instruments aren't nimble enough for Mr. Beethoven's quick notes. The sopranos say their notes are just too high. All over Vienna, the musicians are struggling with their tasks. His symphony will put to music the poem Ode to Joy. I hear as well that because Mr. Beethoven is deaf, he will lead the orchestra with another conductor, one who can hear, conducting alongside him. Amid these great events, little gatekeeper, how is life at home? Do your twin sisters still torment you with their terrible shouts? Perhaps before too long, I shall hear of them myself. Uncle Carl. March 27th, 1824. Dear Uncle, I know this will come as a surprise, but this time I write you with good news. I was standing on the stairs landing today when my favorite soprano came by to get tickets for the concert. At least, she is now my favorite. She had something to ask of Mr. Beethoven, and she wrote her request in his book. Then she wrote another request, handed him the book, and winked at me. He read her words and said, Certainly, the boy and his mother will have tickets as well. And so Mother and I will be going to the Ninth Symphony. I wrote thank you as neatly as I could in his book. As for the twins, Uncle, of course, they still torment me. It is what they were put on earth to do. Now I have a new name for my sisters. I call them the Sopranos. It makes my mother laugh. Yours truly, Christoph. Okay, my friends, if it's your birthday today, December 10th, 2020, happy birthday. I hope you have a day filled with kindness, friendliness, and peace. We are all in this together. See you next time.